It's Darlene from Bellevue Integrative Wellness, and I'm in a different location today. As you can see, I am in my car because I got to just make things work how they're going to work. And today is Tuesday, which means we do every Tuesday Tools, where I provide you with tools that align with our goals for our Sunday setting goal for the week, because we are all about workplace wellness here at Bellevue Integrative Wellness. Once again, I am Darlene. I am a joy strategist and workplace wellness coach, and I help nurses and healthcare professionals reset their joy so that they remain in the profession that they once loved. And we are at the end. We are in our last week of our psychological safety series for workplace wellness. And this week's topic, I feel like, is one of my favorites because it's about setting the tone, being the vibe in the workplace. What exactly does that mean? Well, we've talked about it many a times throughout the different series that we've had. And basically, attitudes, energy, all that in the workplace is so contagious. Whether it's good energy, whether it's bad energy, whether you're having a good day, a bad day, or your colleague is having a good day or a bad day, oftentimes, depending on the degree of how the day feels, it can all just be contagious. It can make you feel as though, it can feel uplifting, or it could feel like it's that you're being drained. And so ultimately, as individuals, we have absolutely no control over how other people will operate, how they will respond to you, how they're going to react with you. We have no control over that. But what we do have control over is ourselves. And so when we find ourselves in workplaces that can be challenging, that are faced with challenges, that are faced with incivility or toxicity and all those things, that can become very draining. That is something that I have experienced myself. And the key is, as difficult as it may be, it's very important to come back to yourself. You need to come back to yourself and understand the person that you are and who you are, and realizing how every single person contributes to the workplace in some way, shape, or form. And so what we want to do is to be the person that's actually bringing the vibe, bringing the good feeling, bringing all the good stuff into the workplace, as opposed to being the person who brings in the negativity. So, like I said, it's Tuesday Tools. So I'm going to give you 4 tools on how you can be the vibe and you can set the tone in the workplace and change the trajectory of how things are going if things are not necessarily, if things are toxic and not necessarily the easiest place to work at emotionally. And so tool number 1 is focusing on signals of progress. Now, we are all guilty of this, of getting together in the workplace and discussing all the things that are wrong. And yes, we are supposed to discuss the things that are wrong as well as discuss the things that are going well. But oftentimes, the things that are going well gets drowned out by what's actually wrong, because we spend so much time focusing on what needs to be changed. And so if you find that you're having another conversation where it's the same topic over and over again, and it's becoming heavy, it's just becoming too much, and it's starting to feel draining, then be that person that's going to discuss in that moment and say, hey, I had a win this week, or Sarah had a win last week, or to be able to point out situations of progress, of moving forward, to be able to show that not only, yes, that we are facing challenges, we are going through challenges, but you know what? In the midst of all that, that we have accomplished a few wins or several wins in a specific amount of time, and to share what those wins are so that we can begin to change our mindset, and that can become contagious. Number 2 is asking a better question. Again, if we find ourselves in that rabbit hole of having the discussion over and over again about this is wrong and that is wrong, and I can't take this and I can't take that, be that person that asks, instead of joining and dragging the conversation out longer than it should be the person that asks, what can we do to solve this? What can we do to begin to make a change regarding this specific challenge? And start to line up some people, line up some colleagues that you know that you trust, that you've had conversations with. And there's strength in numbers, there's strength in community. So when you have the ability to have conversation with others who feel the same as you, to be able to say, hey, you know what? Let's see if we can take one step towards making a change towards something to make it better, right? So that we don't end up feeling that feeling of stuck in this continuous cycle of complaint and no change. Number 3, recognition, 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 and not for you, but you. Be that person to recognize someone else. Give those shout outs. A lot of times, people will do great things or acts of kindness or have a great catch that no one knows about because it's something that happened quietly. And there are a lot of people in the workplace who are very timid and they are humble and they don't want all the attention in the spotlight, which is fine. But I believe in that people should be recognized when recognition is due. So even if you personally go to a person and say, hey, I saw what you did, or I'm admiring you from afar. I see that the work that you do, I see that you're such a team player, but giving that compliment, that one-on-one, and telling a person, what a great job that they're doing could make such a big difference in morale. Not only that, but it also motivates people to do more. Why? Because they've been recognized for the good that they did, as opposed to, just being looked over and no one catching that they did something great. And if you could take it a step further, send an email to your management and just letting them know, hey, I noticed that Susie has been doing such a great job and I don't want it to go unnoticed. So I would love to recognize her. And maybe at the next huddle, at the next meeting, that you can, make the announcement and give him or her the recognition. That goes a long way. And once you do that, that can inspire other people to do the same. And then lastly, model the pace that you want in the workplace. Meaning, if you want to be able to be an environment at work where people are able to be civil and have professional conversation, have respectful conversation, laugh a little bit, even dance a little bit, hey, be that person that just does that. And people will see it. They'll either like it or they don't. If they like it, they'll join you. If they don't, that's okay too. But that ultimately you are being yourself. And that you're bringing this positive, encouraging, empowering, inspiring energy into the workplace that is so contagious that people are going to want to be around you. And when they're around you and you give off this positive energy, this positive vibe, that they walk away from you feeling good. So guess what? When they move on to the next person, chances are they're going to address the next person with a more enlightened spirit about them because of the fact that you have been around them and in a positive way and just pouring into them. All right. So yes, we know that as nurses and healthcare workers, that oftentimes our workplace environment can be so challenging for multiple reasons, which is why so many nurses and healthcare workers are emotionally exhausted. And again, we don't have any control over other people and how they react or respond to us at all. But all we can do is to have responsibility and accountability for ourselves. And let's be those change agents in the workplace that's going to set the tone, bring the vibe, and make the workplace a safe and joyful place to work so that our patients can have the best outcomes and that we can remain in the profession that we once loved. So it's Tuesday Tools. I hope that at least one of these tools helps you out. Drop me a message. Let me know how your week is going. I surely don't mind. My inbox is open. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.